TDS just rebalanced a lot of towers for Halloween, and Slasher is one of them. This tower used to be terrible and was considered as one of the worst towers in the game. When on paper it looks pretty good, it's like, he has some kind of potential. On practice, he was trash. But now with a massive range buff, bleed formula adjustments, and the removal of bleed reapplication cooldown, will he successfully achieve his mid to late game role? Let's look at his new stats. At level 0 it now costs 1.5k to be placed down, now dealing 6 damage every 0.5 seconds with a range of 6 instead of 5. Its critical damage is lowered to 175%, but now deals 15 DPS. He now has a placement limit of 8 instead of 12. At level 1, Slasher attacks 0.15 seconds faster, with an increased critical damage to 250%. He still gains hidden detection at this level. Slasher deals 25.71 DPS for an upgrade cost of 1250. On level 2, Slasher attacks slower, now attacking every 0.75 seconds but deals 40 damage. His range is significantly increased to 7.5. He deals 80 DPS for an upgrade cost of 4250. He starts inflicting bleed at this level, applying 1 bleed stack per hit. Of course this isn't enough to reach max stacks, which is 300 to deal collapse damage. At level 3, Slasher deals 50 damage every 0.6 seconds now, with an increased critical damage of 375%. He deals around 159.72 DPS for an upgrade cost of 8.25k. Also no, he still couldn't easily get to 300 stacks with just level 3 Slashers. At the max level, he attacks slightly faster with a rate of 0.5 seconds, increased range to 8.5, stronger critical damage. He deals way less DPS than his previous stats, but he can start dealing collapse damage to tanky enemies, which adds 130 DPS in minimum, while for bosses like Fallen King it should be around or more than 200 bleed DPS. His bleed application is increased from 1 to 3 bleed stacks, all of these at the upgrade cost of 25k. This is Slasher's new bleed collapse damage formula. He can deal around 10k damage against Fallen King as an example. And here's the stat comparison with the previous version and additional stat sheet, cause the editor's formula is wrong. If you look on paper, it looks like a nerf, but the huge range buff and the removal of the 0.8 second bleed reapplication cooldown, it can actually melt bosses now, on team play. But, this is a big one, on solos, Slasher still sucks in late game, probably not any different than before, but once you have a friend to duo Fallen it should be pretty good. You could probably use it to speedrun, but it might be awkward, even more so on quad games, it just melts the guy. That's probably Slasher's only great use case scenario. This isn't even quad, so Fallen King could die in under 15 seconds on quad. He only lasted 17 seconds by the way. On special game modes, he should be usable on Pizza Party. Never mind, flying and lead enemies throws you off, and Wox's range debuff severely kills the tower. Less on polluted wastelands too, unless your entire team has Slasher or maybe you're just using him for a huge chip damage. And on Badlands, probably not that good cause of the map layout. The best way to use Slasher is to ignore level 0 and 1. Always try to spam level 2 Slasher and then level 3. Only bother to get max Slashers for upcoming boss waves. If you are getting max Slashers, fully invest on it, since it only does something if you have more max Slashers. Since the level heavily relies on bleed damage, the best supports for Slasher is Commander for faster bleed collapse rate, and Medic for more fire rate buff and a stun shield to help Slasher perform better on bosses. Anyways, that's the Slasher rebalance. Is it a buff or a nerf? It just depends. On solos, it's roughly the same, while on teams it can look busted. Slasher has no middle ground, it's either bad or great. It being insanely good on teams makes it sounds like its potential is put into practice. The true potential, man. Slasher is likely still barely usable on game modes harder than Fallen, mainly of the fact that it's a melee tower. This tower is probably somewhere around B or C tier for me. Same as before, but I can't deny that team play performance. What do you think of Slasher? It's probably a nerf for most of you guys since not a lot of people have Slasher, and likely you guys prefer to go solo. This rebalance is very interesting, since it can already perform so well on more player counts, so if it's buffed specifically for solo, then Slasher becomes the new prime swarmer, if its DPS is significantly buffed. Anyways, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video, and thanks for watching.